In today's video, I'm going to give you my tips and tricks on how to avoid nightmare tenants and how to properly screen potential tenants. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Bruce Wang. I'm a real estate investor, dividend collector, just turned YouTuber, and I've been requested many times on this video, how do I screen tenants? A lot of you guys are just beginning your investment journey. That could be into real estate, that could be into dividend stocks, and you guys are just looking for someone to guide you and some tips from someone who's on the other side of real estate investing. So that's gonna be this video. I'm gonna give you some of my tips and tricks on how I got started with real estate investing and screening tenants. So if you guys wanna learn how I started real estate investing, you guys can go check out the card here and watch some of my older videos. But in today's video, I'm gonna give you some of my experience on how I started with screening tenants. And the first way, or the first time that I ever screened a tenant, it wasn't me that actually screened a tenant. I actually hired a real estate agent to help me find a tenant for one of my properties. And this specific property is actually one of the properties that I manage. I take care of the maintenance, I take care of everything else, but screening tenants was something that was kind of new to me, and I was having a hard time with referrals from friends and family. So I actually had to find someone that I did not know completely, no third party whatsoever. So I hired a real estate agent to do this for me. I think the company was Layer, but there's a lot of real estate agencies out there that are very popular, and most of them have a leasing department that does this for you. So to give you an example of some of the companies out there that you can go to, there's going to be Remax, Century 21, Caldwell Banker, Keller Williams, or you can go to a local brokerage in your area, and they will most likely have a leasing department. So this person will go to your property, get all the details of the rental, start taking photos of the place. Maybe they will hire a photographer if they're actually like a luxury type of place, but typically I think they'll have just like a point and shoot camera. After that, they would list your property on their websites, and they'll start getting traffic for all of the people that in your area that's looking for a place to rent. Just a disclaimer, this person is not working for free. They're gonna be collecting typically the first month's rent. That's how much they usually charge. If you're going to a professional property management company, they might be able to do this too, and they will typically take the first month's rent as well. So I just want to let you guys know that it's not free. They're not doing work for you for free. These guys do a lot of work for you. They're gonna be showing your property to a lot of potential tenants. They're going to be running a credit check, they'll be doing a background check, and this is all the typical stuff that you would want someone to do. And depending on your market, you'll either have a lot of tenants to choose from, or you'll have a few tenants to choose from. And these guys will recommend the best potential candidate, but it'll be ultimately on you to decide who you want to live in your property. So I'm managing a single family house. I think it was like 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and I was having a very difficult time finding tenants. So that's why I hired a leasing agent to help me. And this person did a lot of work. I think it took them about 3 weeks to 4 weeks to find a really good tenant to put in there. I remember very specifically that there was this one person that she showed the house to, and she was talking with this potential tenant, and they told my leasing agent that they like to play with fire, and stuff like that is a gigantic red flag for your properties. You don't want anyone that likes to play with fire renting out your. So they recommended that I do not rent to these guys, even though stuff like that, they're not going to be putting it on your rental application. This is something that you'll only find out if you go to the showings and stuff like that. So during that time, I did not have a lot of hours in my day to go show potential tenants, and that's why I thought it was well worth it that this leasing agent really helped me out big time. So this leasing agent was recommended to me by a family member, and she did a really good job. And I asked her a lot of questions about the legal process, how to not discriminate, and that is really important. You have to really look out for your fair housing laws to make sure that you're not discriminating against age, race, nationality, disability, and all that. That is really important when you're going to be screening tenants yourself. So once I built up some confidence from talking to her, doing my own research online, I decided that I wanted to save some money. First month's rent, that could be like up to $2,000 for some people out there. So that is a lot of money, and I want to save that for myself. So if you guys didn't know, I own a duplex that's been completely renovated. The first unit I was actually referred to by a friend, and this person was my first tenant. The second tenant that I have, I actually screened that person myself, and I did that all through Zillow. And this is a video of the property when it was during the renovation process. I did new siding, new roof, so this place looks amazing compared to how it used to look before. And I fully renovated inside as well, so there's not going to be that many issues on the inside with stuff breaking down. But you never know when it's rental properties. You're not the one living in there taking care of the place. There's always going to be somebody else, and you never know how they're going to take care of your place. So for my property, I did all of my screening on Zillow. Zillow is not only just a place where you can look at your friend's house price, but it's actually a place that you can go to place your listing for free. And they give you a lot of resources that is very helpful for screening tenants. So all you have to do is go onto the Zillow website, sign up for our account, it's completely free. So when you're in Zillow, you want to go into the rent section, and this is where all your information that you need is. You want to go into the I am a rent manager, my listings, list a rental, received, applications, rent payments. I collect all my rent payments on Zillow, and that is really helpful. You don't want to try to collect cash. You're going to have a lot of issues if you're collecting cash. So try to collect payments online. Zillow rental manager. And if you're a renter, you want to go to this section, but here we go. You want to list a rental. So I have my properties here listed. I'm obviously gonna not show you the addresses and everything. So these are my 2 units. One of them is rented out. The other one is not rented out yet, but I'm currently taking applications. And that's why I decided to do this video, because I'm actually going through the screening process again. So I want to, make sure I have all my bases covered before I accept an application. But basically, you want to go into your resources, and here is all the landlording basics that you need to know. All of this is so useful. I cannot recommend it anymore. How to run a credit check, a guide to becoming a landlord, how to manage a rental property, rent receipt template. All this stuff you can download. All of the templates, you can download all the notices that you might need on here. When it comes to the tools and forms, I'm pretty sure that I downloaded almost everything that I could download from this section. So I'll list this website if you guys are interested in screening your own tenants. And if you guys want me to go through Zillow and go through the listing process and everything that I require for my tenants and stuff like that, just let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to leave me a like as well for giving you all of this valuable information. So going through the tenant screening, finding a great renter, these are the basics that you would need to know. Make sure you read this section first. It's basically going to be all the laws and all that stuff that you want to read this. You do not want to discriminate against somebody, because they can come back to bite you on the and you definitely don't want a lawsuit before you start your investing career. That would be so unfortunate if that actually happens. So I recommend first use a professional first, and after you get more confident, you can start doing it yourself. Pre-qualifying tenants at first contact. So after I did my listing, all of these people started wanting to see the place and stuff like that. So I'm not just going to show everybody that wants to see my property just like that. That's why I take really nice photos, and I only want to show my property to anyone that has potential to rent it out. So on my listing, I list everything about my property. First floor unit, eat-in kitchen, living room, 1 full bathroom, square footage. This is all the stuff that a tenant needs to know, especially what you do not want a tenant to have. So 2 off-street parking, that's really important to a lot of tenants as well. Basement storage. So I do not allow pets in my property, and that's because pets are very difficult to deal with, especially if you have like a gigantic dog. They might pee in the house, they might mess up walls, scratch up the walls and stuff like that, especially if a tenant does not take care of the pets as that well. That could lead to a lot of big problems. So for me, I just rather not deal with it. I know there's a lot of other places that are pet friendly, and they charge a pet fee, but That's just something that I don't want to deal with, so I do not allow pets in my house. Another requirement for my property is no smoking. I don't want to deal with the smells and all the stains on the walls and on the ceilings that I have to clean up after. And these are some of the bigger requirements that I have that I'm kind of flexible, but not really. I have to make sure the potential tenant has a really good credit score. Anything above, 650 and higher, that's already good. And anything over 700, that's great. So I rather have 700 plus is better, but 650 is going to be where my limit is at. People with low credit scores are most likely not going to be able to pay you back because they can't even pay back for some of the stuff that they buy on credit. I require like first of the month, last of the month, and a security deposit and income to ratio 3 times the rent. That's also really important as well. And I only show my place by appointment, and I require everyone to take the application. That is one way that I pre-qualify all of my tenants. After that, I make my tenants fill out an application, and if everything else looks good, then I start doing the showing. So the steps here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I do them in a little bit of a different type of order, but so far with my track record, I'm doing all right. So I'm just gonna stick with my process until it doesn't work anymore, basically. So when I make my potential tenants fill out the application on Zillow runs a credit check on the person. They also run a background check on the person, and they also make the person list out, past residencies and where they work. So all of this stuff, all of this information is very accessible, and I can do all of my, verifying work after I get the application back. So I check the references. I call the old landlord, or I called where they lived before, talk to the landlord, ask him some questions. I talk to where they're employed. I asked him, does this person make such and such amount every single month? Depending on where they're employed, they might tell you, they might not tell you. So you might have to do some extra verifying where you collect pay stubs. And that's one way that I verified my tenants as well. So Zillow also runs a credit check on the tenant, and this is where you can see a lot of great information. Are they on time with their payments? How much debt did they have? How much did they have to pay every single month in credit? How much credit usage they have, if it's really high, if it's really low, and all that good stuff. It's all there, and it's really useful. Credit is, in this day and age, I think the credit score is gonna be one of the top main factors of screening tenants. After you do this screening process, hopefully you'll have a lot of tenants to choose from, and you choose the most highly qualified one. And if there are multiple tenants that are qualified, one way to do it without discriminating is do a first come, first serve type of basis, and you just pick the first qualified tenant to live in your place. So everything that I just went through with you in this video is going to be all here on this website, and I'll be leaving this link in the description down below. And like I was saying before, if you guys want me to do like an in-depth analysis of how to list your property on Zillow, just let me know in the descriptions down below. I think this is going to be really useful to anybody that is a budding real estate investor out there. Zillow is definitely going to be one of the best ways to go. If you want to see more real estate videos or more dividend investing videos, go check out my older videos that I made here. Don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, hit the notification to know when I send a next new video out. I love you 3000. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.